Imagine walking into your favorite coffee shop, connecting to their public Wi-Fi, and unknowingly opening yourself up to digital threats. It's an all-too-common scenario in our hyper-connected world. But what makes these public Wi-Fi networks risky? Well, the first thing to know is that most public Wi-Fi networks are unsecured. This means they don't use encryption, the process of encoding information so only authorized parties can read it. Without encryption, anyone within range can eavesdrop on what you're doing online. It's like broadcasting your personal activities on a billboard for all to see. Now you might be thinking, I'm not doing anything important, just browsing the news or checking social media. But it's not just about the websites you visit. It's about the data you transmit. Every time you log into an account, you're sending a username and a password. Every time you make a purchase, you're sending credit card information. And without encryption, this sensitive information is ripe for the picking. This is where cybercriminals come in. They can easily set up fake Wi-Fi networks or use tools to intercept data on unsecured networks. These digital pickpockets are not lurking in the shadows, they're sitting in the same coffee shop, or they could be halfway around the world. And their goal is to steal your personal information. So, what kind of information are we talking about? It can be anything from your social media login to your credit card number, your email password, or even your identity. And once this information is in the wrong hands, it can be used for all sorts of malicious activities, from unauthorized purchases and identity theft to blackmail and more. So the next time you connect to a public Wi-Fi, remember, it's not just about enjoying a cup of coffee, it's also about protecting your digital footprint. And as we'll discuss in the next chapter, there are simple steps you can take to do just that. So stick around and let's learn how to stay safe in this digital world. Now that you know why public Wi-Fi is risky, let's delve into the common threats you might encounter. One of the major threats is something called a man-in-the-middle attack. Picture this, you're having a private conversation with a friend, and suddenly, an uninvited stranger jumps into the conversation, intercepting and potentially altering your messages. That's pretty much what happens during a man-in-the-middle attack. The attacker situates themselves between your device and the Wi-Fi router, and voila! They can now see and manipulate your data. Next up is the evil twin Wi-Fi. Imagine you're at a coffee shop and you see two Wi-Fi networks that look identical. One is legitimate, and the other is a malicious twin created by a cybercriminal. They're banking on you connecting to their evil twin, which unfortunately, many of us do. Once you're connected, they can steal your personal information, including your passwords and bank details. Lastly, we have malware distributions. Think of malware like a digital version of a parasite. It latches onto your device, often without you even knowing it's there. Cybercriminals can use public Wi-Fi to distribute malware, which can then infect your device and give them access to your data or even control of your device. Now, I know these threats may sound like they're straight out of a spy movie, but they're as real as they are dangerous, and they're waiting for you on public Wi-Fi. But don't worry, in the next scene, we'll discuss how you can protect yourself from these threats. Until then, remember, your data is precious, and it's up to you to protect it. These threats are as real as they are dangerous, and they're waiting for you on public Wi-Fi. You might be thinking, so what if I fall victim to these cyber threats? Well, let's discuss the real-life consequences. Imagine waking up one morning to discover that your credit card has been maxed out by a stranger halfway across the globe. Or, perhaps you receive a call from your bank, alerting you of suspicious activity on your account. These are just a few of the potential financial consequences of cybercrime. Cybercriminals are adept at using stolen credit card information to make fraudulent purchases, leaving you with a mountain of debt and a damaged credit score. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. But the financial fallout is just one side of this unfortunate coin. Another alarming consequence is identity theft. Picture this. A cybercriminal intercepts your personal information from an unprotected public Wi-Fi network. They now have all they need to impersonate you, open new credit lines in your name, or even commit crimes under your identity. The process of reclaiming your identity can be a long, stressful, and expensive journey. It's not just about money, it's about who you are. Now let's add another layer to this scenario. Think about the impact on your personal and professional reputation. In this digital age, our online presence is often intertwined with our real-life persona. What if a cybercriminal gains access to your social media accounts? They could post damaging content, leading to potential embarrassment and harm to your personal relationships and professional standing. Moreover, imagine a scenario where your work emails are hacked. confidential business information could be leaked, leading to loss of trust from clients or even job loss. The ripple effects of such a breach could impact not just you but your colleagues and the entire organization. It's not just about you, it's about the people around you. And let's not forget about the emotional toll. The stress and anxiety that come with being a victim of cybercrime can be overwhelming. It's an invasion of your personal space, a violation of your privacy. It's like having your house broken into, but instead of your physical belongings, it's your digital life that's been ransacked. In essence, the real-life consequences of cybercrime are far more than a mere inconvenience. They can be devastating, leading to financial ruin, loss of identity, damaged reputation, and emotional distress. And while you might think you're just a small fish in a big pond, remember, cybercriminals don't discriminate. Anyone can be a target, especially those who make it easy for them by using public Wi-Fi without protection. The consequences of cybercrime are far-reaching and can impact your life long after the initial breach. So, the next time you're tempted to connect to that free public Wi-Fi without protection, think twice. The risks are simply too high. The risks are real, but don't despair. There are ways to protect yourself when using public Wi-Fi. First off, it's essential to know that not all Wi-Fi networks are created equal. Free, open public Wi-Fi can be a breeding ground for cyber threats. But there are steps you can take to ensure your digital safety. One of the most effective ways to protect yourself is by using a virtual private network or VPN. A VPN is like a secure tunnel for your data. It encrypts your information, making it unreadable to anyone who might be snooping around on the network. So, even if a cybercriminal intercepts your data, all they'll see is gibberish. But remember, not all VPNs are the same. Free VPNs might seem tempting, but they often come with their own risks, such as adware or even data selling. So do your research and opt for a reputable paid VPN service. Next, be mindful of the websites you visit. Stick to websites that use HTTPS, as the S stands for secure. These websites encrypt your information, making it harder for hackers to steal your data. You can easily identify HTTPS websites by looking for the padlock icon in your browser's address bar. Turn off automatic connections on your devices. Many smartphones, tablets, and laptops will automatically connect to open networks. This might seem convenient, but it can also connect you to malicious networks without your knowledge. So, take control and manually select the networks you join. Now let's talk about what you do online. Avoid performing sensitive transactions on public Wi-Fi. This includes online banking, shopping, or anything else that requires you to input your credit card information or other personal details. If you absolutely must perform these tasks while on public Wi-Fi, use your mobile data instead. You should also consider using two-factor authentication for your accounts. This adds an extra layer of security by requiring a second piece of information to log in, like a code sent to your phone. It might seem like a hassle, but it can be the difference between keeping your account secure and becoming a victim of cybercrime. Finally, keep your devices up to date. This may not seem directly related to Wi-Fi security, but outdated software can have vulnerabilities that hackers can exploit. Regular updates often include security patches to fix these vulnerabilities, so make sure you're not ignoring those reminders to update. Remember, public Wi-Fi is a tool, and like any tool, it's all about how you use it. By following these steps, you can use public Wi-Fi to your advantage without making yourself an easy target for cybercriminals. By taking these precautions, you can enjoy the convenience of public Wi-Fi without compromising your digital safety. In the digital world, the best defense is a good offense. Just as a chess player anticipates and counters their opponent's moves, we too must anticipate potential threats in the digital realm. Being proactive is the key to safeguarding our personal data from cyber threats. So, how do we do this? First and foremost, keep your devices up to date. Those pesky software updates aren't just for adding new features or fixing bugs. They often contain critical patches to security holes. By delaying or ignoring these updates, you're essentially leaving a welcome mat out for potential hackers. Next, cultivate the habit of using strong and unique passwords. It's like using a different key for every door you have. If one key is stolen, it doesn't give the thief access to all your doors. Consider using a password manager to help you keep track of your unique passwords. It's a simple tool that can make a world of difference in your digital security. Moreover, be mindful of the networks you connect to. Just because a Wi-Fi network requires a password doesn't necessarily mean it's secure. When in doubt, it's better to use your mobile data instead. Lastly, but perhaps most importantly, stay informed. The world of cyber threats is constantly evolving. New threats are being developed and old ones are becoming more sophisticated. By keeping up to date with the latest threats and protection methods, you're equipping yourself with the knowledge to stay one step ahead of the cyber criminals. Remember, the goal isn't to live in fear of connecting to public Wi-Fi. The goal is to understand the risks and take appropriate measures to mitigate them. It's about empowering yourself with the knowledge and tools to navigate the digital landscape safely and confidently. Knowledge is power, and in this case, it's your best weapon against the dangers of public Wi-Fi.